I'm going to try and prove a point in this video by rapidly assembling a forester's tent tarp shelter in a single take while I'm speaking to you all as I go. So earlier this year I said that the forester's tent was the best tarp shelter, the perfect tarp tent in fact. So I've got a DD Hammock Superlight tarp here. This is the 3 by 2.9 metre one, so for argument's sake let's call it a 3 metre square. Then I've got a ground sheet just because it's such extraordinarily bad ground conditions and so wet. A couple of pegs and some guy lines here. I'm going to use these walking poles to give us some sort of structural support. These are set to about 125 centimetres, so nice room for head clearance for myself. Of course, in an extreme situation with a bit of woodland in the background, as long as we had a tarp of a decent size, we could use sticks to prop up the shelter and even use smaller sticks instead of tent pegs to push into the ground and hopefully keep it relatively stable. So without further ado, I'm going to try and make sure that I'm nicely in shot here by backing up further and further. But as far as I'm concerned, this right now is the real start of the build. So all I'm going to do to start with is, of course, unfurl our tarp. And as you can see, it's just a big sheet. It's as simple as it gets. Obviously, we've got a ridge line down the centre. So what I'm going to try and do is build it sort of facing slightly diagonal to your right-hand side. Left-hand side, I don't know. So with the forester's tent, I'm going to do this, and I will do close-ups and show this as a second build in just a moment. I'm going to grab a pocket full of pegs. See, if I was trying to do this as fast as possible, I would have set all these bits up first. But I'm going to start by pegging down the loop that is one in from the corner. This ground is so soft, that's ridiculous how easy that's gone in. Might actually be too soft for this, but we'll find out. Then I'm going to the rear of my shelter. I'm getting the loop that's one in from the rear corner, and you guessed it, I am pegging that one in too. Now there's a few ways you can go about this. You could either put a proper guy line and stake your pole out properly. What I'm going to do now is go again, find my ridge line at the centre of the tarp. Going to go one loop in. I'm going to loop that around my trekking pole here, and rather than guying this out to begin with, I'm going to go, and this might shock you, to find this corner of the tarp and move one loop in from that. And so this is only a rough setup, it doesn't have to be perfect, and if the trekking pole falls over, it's not the end of the world, we'll just redo it. And of course with tarps we can obviously continually adjust and customise as we go. That's something that's going to be a key feature of this video in fact. So you can see we've got what looks like it might one day be a shelter there. So what I think I'll do actually first, grab a guy line. Again, I'm trying to do this in a steady way so you can follow without rushing, but also hopefully in a way that's showing just how simple and easy and quick it is to set up a fully enclosed tarp tent, which I'd say is far more advanced than just doing a simple lean-to style. So, guy line has gone along there, and again, I'm not worried about this being tight. I'm just putting this in now so that when we put the rear trekking pole in, we've got something to pull against, so we don't just pull the front completely over on itself. I'm going to get a second guy line here, which we'll use on the rear when we put the rear trekking pole in. So again, doing this single take. I hope this is recording, I hope the microphone's working. Find the ridge line on the rear of the tent, move in one loop in from that, put that in a sensible position, find the final unpegged corner of the tent, move one loop in from that, and hopefully, if I can get that roughly there, like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect to start with. Should have put the pegs in the opposite pocket really, would have made my life a little easier. But you can see how rapidly we have gone from having no shelter at all to having what at least looks like in an emergency we could crawl in there. So again, I'm going to take my second guy line. So at this point we've got 5 pegs down and 2 guy lines, and then our 6th peg It's going to put this down, push this down into the ground. This is what I said about pulling against that front guy line that I put in. So instead of just pulling the whole thing over, there is some degree of resistance there. Wow, this ground is soft. And you can see what we've basically got is an A-frame with some very floppy openings here. But I still believe this is one of the best shelters that you can make. So what am I going to do to sort this out? Again, hopefully this is all actually in shot and hopefully being recorded. Going to take 2 pegs here. It might only need 1, but sometimes it needs 2. So let's find our corner. We're going to fold the corner of the tarp in, and what a shock, go 1 in from the corner on the front edge of our tent. And as you can see, that folds nicely across from this corner straight into the centre. And I'm just going to stake that down. If I can find anything amidst this wet grass. Already that's starting to look far more proper. So the other side, what a shock. Fold the corner in, keep that loop that is 1 in from it. And if I raise this slightly, it would mean that I could use 1 single peg to keep these tight at the front. But because it's slightly lower, the tent's a little wider and we've got more excess here, I'm going to add a 2nd peg here so that I can really stake that down nice and tight. And would you look at that? We've now got an overlapping sealed entrance there. Sealed maybe over the top a term to use, but you can see we've actually got an enclosed front. So I'm going to do the same on the rear here. And like I say, I will do a 2nd take in just a moment so you can see the close-ups of exactly what's happening here. This is just to show you that even as I'm getting out of breath talking rapidly to you as I build this, that this is how casually I can put this together, because everybody's got the ability to go out and investigate tarp tents, and I don't want people to be put off thinking that it's too complicated. And as rapidly as this, I'm going to pick the camera up and do a final circle before we cut the video. We have got a simple tarp tent there. Now, of course, what I would do if I was not trying to show you how quick and easy this is, and I will do, I'll add extra pegs here so we can stake out the sides just slightly more to pull us a little bit more away from having saggy sides. Like I say, one of the benefits of the tarp setup, we can slightly readjust everything. Of course, this ground is so bumpy, it's completely and utterly unsuitable for this sort of stuff, but that's part of the fun. And again, you can see that I can literally visibly see the difference of pulling these sides tighter and adding extra lines. If you really wanted, you can start pulling these to raise your ridge line. But that's not a bad effort, considering I was spending at least as much time, probably more, speaking to you all there. So, if I lift you up off the tripod, that was smooth, we can have a closer look. And hopefully you can see exactly what I was talking about. Just need to slightly readjust that so we haven't got that flappy bit of side in there. But again, if I just show you very closely the doors before I give you some proper cuts and editing here, you can see these slightly overlap. If I take that one out, as if by magic, we have got a massive, like I say, that is a massive entrance into our tarp shelter, fully enclosed. Obviously in these conditions, you'd probably want a ground sheet, which I'll put in just a second. But when I've been here in better weather, or not here, but when I've been out in better weather, I literally just put my bivvy bag down on the ground and that is my waterproof ground sheet. But as I say, you can see how outrageously tufty and unsuitable this actually is as ground for building shelters. And still, while doing that on the worst possible tufty, bumpy, soft, wet ground and talking to the camera, I've managed to half concentrate and still put together a competent shelter there. I've had a much better idea than just chucking the ground sheet down in the fully enclosed forester's tent here. I'm going to actually set it up how I normally sleep in this, which is with just an open-ended A-frame on this side and a sealed end up the top. So the first thing I've done is remove those extra pegs that I placed in the sides, which we may use just for our ground sheet in a second. But to convert to an A-frame, And this really is super simple because we haven't got any of the doors or anything to think about. We're going to take these extra pegs out. So we now haven't got any kind of front door set up, and we're going to have even less of one in just a moment. Going to remove these pegs. Of course, always being careful and cautious not to leave them in the ground when it's this long, wet, boggy ground and long grass, because they're very, very easy to lose these sorts of things. So now I've moved everything from one loop in that gave us the spare flap of tarp to, of course, make the doorway. As you can see, if we just build everything on the front edge of the tarp here, again, hopefully that's in shot, we're going to have the simplest opening of a shelter possible. But it's going to give us extra covered area, and it's going to give us much needed ventilation, which is why I've done it in the summertime and over the autumn when I've slept in this setup, because of course I haven't been in extreme survival situation conditions. I'll pop that there. Obviously we're putting this in the centre of the front edge, right on the front of the ridge line. Again, like I say, we don't have to do everything absolutely perfect every single time. With tarps and pegs and guy lines, we can continually adjust these. I'll just put this in for now. And then, as if by magic, with one final flourish of energy, we'll drive this giant tent peg into this extremely soft ground. And there we have an open A-frame at the front and a sealed end at the back. So what I'm going to do is just readjust some of these so that we take off some of that slack. But again, you can see in the matter of no time at all just how easy it's been to create a proper covered shelter in the rain. Just a really quick point I want to make here. You might notice this is uneven on the top. So at the edge of the tarp, we've got smaller loops. So that's tighter up to the top of my trekking pole there. Whereas here on one of the inner ridgeline attachments, there's a few centimetres of drop. If we really were worried about that and it wasn't just a YouTube demonstration, all I do is raise this pole a few centimetres so that that point then rose up. Of course, I'm not too concerned. If we were using twigs or sticks, or if we were guying these up to trees, obviously we just adjust those accordingly so that it accounted for the extra sag of the loop there. Like I say, it's not a big issue. And of course, if we really wanted to get all this nice and tight, we can add pegs in and we can really start to pull this out and tighten those walls up. Just for humour's sake, I'm going to put a couple of these in here. I can already see if we wanted, we could really go absolutely to town, and you could spend a lot more time doing the final finishing touches than you actually spend setting up the overall shelter, which is why I'm never really too bothered about this sort of thing. I do apologise here, my friends. I almost forgot that finishing touch, which is just to pull the ridgeline tight without any other external forces here. So all I'm going to do is unpeg this, just tighten it up, and you'll see even on quite a long ridge line like that, without any extra supports, as I was mentioning just then, this will significantly tighten itself up. Now, of course, it's not perfect. That's not what I'm trying to go for here, but you can hopefully see that it's just lifted and give it a little more structure there. Not perfect, but that's not what I'm worried about. I don't know if you can tell just how wet it's getting here, but, well, if I was out in the mountains, I would be glad of that right now. I don't know if it's apparent just how wet it's been throughout this video, but amazingly, just to spite me, the weather's actually getting worse as I speak. So, as you can see here, a massive, easy access, nice ventilated front area here, and a completely sealed rear to the shelter. Of course, this is something that not only gives us ventilation, heat regulation, depending on what the conditions we're in are, but having this front open means if we're in somewhere particularly scenic, on the seafront, up the mountains, then we can angle that front towards an incredible view potentially, unless we desperately need it enclosed again in a full enclosed forester's tent, in which case that could obviously from this point be done in 60 seconds or less. I don't know if you can see just how wet my gear is getting here, but as the weather is continually and rapidly going downhill here, rather than do a proper nice stretched out and pegged down ground sheet in here. Because my gimbal that I'm using to record and sync up to the mic, I don't know if that's actually waterproof to any level, so I'm very keen to get the filming done here. So this is a simple small poncho tarp, obviously using it as a ground sheet. If I was in a rush, in a very bad turn of weather like this, I would get the basic shelter up and then get all my gear in there and then start just very, very simply, obviously, pegging out the corners of the ground sheet. And depending on what you wanted, obviously you could, depending on the size of the ground sheet as well, you'd either have it the full base of the shelter, you could have it just underneath where you're sleeping or underneath your gear. In this case, it's smaller than this very, very generous covered sheltered area that we've got here with the one side open like this. So I think what I would do is have this in from the entrance so that I had everything in the most sheltered section of the tent. So I'd probably have it central in here. Any gear that I wasn't too worried about getting wet, push it more to the sides, but I'd just be sleeping here with loads of headroom above me, bivvy bag all nicely tucked in and away from that open-ended shelter there. And of course, if the weather got really bad, like I say, you could, if you are careful and sensible, easily set up this as a closed doorway like we've got behind us without actually leaving the shelter, other than to retrieve that front peg and then restake that front peg to keep it hopefully nice and solid in here. Anyway, this weather's really, really unpleasant now. I better think about going. So, as the weather fell apart and the sun disappeared, not that it was visible to begin with, I packed up and ran away. I'd like to say a massive thank you to everybody for watching this video. I'd like to say an even bigger thank you to my YouTube channel members, my Facebook subscribers, super thankers, PayPal supporters and coffee supporters and so on. Without you, a lot of this stuff simply would not be happening. So thank you very much everybody for all the support of any kind. Until the next time, I'll leave a few links to me all over the internet down below. I'll leave some Amazon associate links to some of my gear that you might have seen in this video. Also, if you buy through those, I will get a commission. So it's an excellent way to support these videos if you are looking at getting some of this kit anyway. And until the next time, my friends, I'll just simply say thank you for absolutely everything. Keep it tarp worthy. Keep it interesting. Have an absolutely fantastic day. And of course, my friends, farewell.